I am not trapped by my autistic brain. There is not a normal Cindy hidden behind all the autism symptoms. Parents, there is not a normal child hiding behind the autism symptoms of your autistic child. Caregivers, the adult you're taking care of, there is not a normal adult stuck behind all those autism symptoms and behaviors. Every single one of you that has that thought, I want you to take a pencil. You see the eraser? Put that eraser on your head and erase. Erase it just like this. Okay. You got some over. Yeah. You got a little bit. Just one more over. There we go. Fantastic. Yes, that was a Doctor Who reference. I just did 9. Okay. Anyway. Autistic people are not trapped in their autistic brains. There's not this normal person inside of it. No. You got to get rid of that notion. Just erase it, delete it, get rid of it. Shoo. It's gone. It is gone now. Is it gone? Better be. I'm not trapped by my autism symptoms, and a dyspraxic, nonverbal autistic person is not trapped by their autism symptoms or their inability to speak. What traps autistic people is not the autism, it's society and society's view of disability. Because a disability only seems to be inconvenient when it doesn't really impinge much on other people. But as soon as other people have to do more for you than you do for them, all of a sudden, oh my gosh, it's so inconvenient. Oh my God, they do all these weird things and I can't get any sleep and they're screaming all the time and oh my God, my life is so hard. Shut up. Shut up. As an autistic person, shut up. Okay? Yes, you're the parent and the caregiver and the autistic person had a bad night. Yeah, it's really hard for you. Well, what if they have been trying to tell you something over and over and you're not getting it? Okay, when you talk to somebody and you're trying to tell them something, you're trying to give them instructions and they seem to just not be getting it, you start to get more frustrated and your voice starts to change and you're just like, yeah, it's this, no, you do this, you go here, you go there. You go this way. Why aren't you listening to me? Don't you understand anything I say? Ah! That happens to you when you're talking to somebody and they don't get something, right? Well, for an autistic person, they have to do the behavioral equivalent to getting frustrated because they're trying to tell you something and you're not getting it. So if your kid just has been making noises all day and grabbing their shirt or something and then finally they throw themselves on the ground, they're punching themselves, they're ripping the shirt, and you get mad at them because they tore the shirt, instead of getting mad at the kid, why don't you check out the shirt and make sure there's not a tag digging into the back of their neck? Or maybe there's a piece of thread that is brushing their skin and a light touch, light touches hurt me. Even my own. You know, it could be a thread it's tickling, and when I mean tickling, I mean it hurts. Like a branding iron hurts. And they just can't stand it anymore. And they might have been trying to tell you that all day, but you just see them being noisy and annoying, and their communication goes ignored. They're trying to say, this tag hurts, this piece of thread hurts, and you just see them just doing things that make no sense to you. Well, the behavior makes sense to them. You have to try to go into what they're saying. Look at what's behind the behavior instead of at just the behavior. Because when you try to teach an autistic person not to behave a certain way, when they use a behavior to say something, you are basically doing this. When you say quiet hands, when you say don't rock back and forth and flap, when you say stop punching yourself, do you realize how hard that is for an autistic person to be told that their way of talking to you is wrong? you know what? I think the way neurotypicals talk and communicate looks so wrong and confusing and weird. So it goes both ways. Honestly, it goes both ways. So, instead of me trying to tell you, you know what, why don't you stop talking? How about you just flap your hands a little bit and sit down and let's rock back and forth for a while, and we will stare at each other until we figure this out. No, what you do is you find a way to meet in the middle. There's like iPads that with icons they can tap on and they will talk. There's sign language. There are all kinds of alternatives that can help autistic people communicate in a way that, they know what they're saying and you know what they're saying. But if you just stifle all their behavior, you're trapping them, and that is when they are trapped. But the autism itself is never, ever, 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 ever a trap. Autistic people are not trapped. And it's really, really upsetting to me when an autistic person that's a nonverbal autistic person, when they are not seen as intelligent or a person until they find a way to communicate in a way neurotypicals can understand. You know what? They are always smart. They're already smart. And it's just you didn't see it because you were holding them to a standard they can't meet. And how is that fair? No. You should never assume an autistic person is incompetent just because they can't speak as well as you. I have a lot of difficulty speaking, but it doesn't show because it's more in my brain than physically in my mouth. I mean, yeah, I stumble on words sometimes, but getting thoughts from my brain to my mouth is a very, very difficult process. I talk simpler than I think, so people think that I'm not smart because of the way I talk. I talk like I'm much younger than I am. I'm 35, but I talk like I'm a teenager sometimes. That's the comparison that people give me. I just talk like Cindy. I'm Cindy. I talk like me. That's how I talk. And sometimes I'm goofy and silly and stupid and nerdy. But that's me. I call myself stupid, but I mean it in a funny way. I don't mean it like I'm not smart. I'm a stupid nerd. That's me. But I would never call somebody else stupid. But when you say autistic people are trapped in these bodies and brains that you think don't work, you are trapping them. They are not trapped. You're trapping them. Stop. Just assume an autistic person is as smart as you and they just express it differently. Don't hold them to neurotypical standards. Hold them to their personal best. And everybody's best is different. And that's what makes the world so amazing, is everybody's different. Because it would be boring if we were all alike. I mean, could you imagine an entire world of people that looked and talked like me? Oh, that would be weird. That would be weird and scary. I don't think I'd get along with myself. I'd be fighting with me every day. I mean, girl, what are you doing with your hair? My hair is just fine. Excuse me? Why are you wearing that lipstick? Shut up. I'll wear my lipstick however the hell I want. No, you don't want an entire planet of me. Anyway, I'm autistic. I'm not trapped. But you trap me when you make comments that make me sound like I am stuck in this body and brain that doesn't work like yours. My brain works like my brain, and it works for me. And if it doesn't work for you, well, sorry. But that's your problem, not mine.